electricity bill. Do we want it to address the bill? Or
No, what we want is,
just
what
leave it the way
what I
it
would
is.
like to see,
With a-
right, is the calculation that shows how you came to that number.
Okay, right, I
Okay.
understand that part.
That,
I'm totally clear on that. My question is, do we want in the table to address the issue of the bill, the minus 300,000 per year, or no?
I think it just confuses.
Okay, all right.
Because the town has an oil bill too, and we can say that's got nothing to do with this as
Okay.
well, so. Yes.
So we would communicate to Arlene the updated presentation, the updated recommendation. Anything else that people, you think would be helpful, that the committee thinks would be helpful?
So we got the PUC as part of that interpretation.
Yeah, she's gonna look up the
I'll look-
docket number or whatever,
along with the count, and put a bolt down there, I think, right? That's your plan.
Or I'll just maybe provide a reference.
Reference, right,
To the-
Yeah, I mean, I have a question. How many different options or, choices do we want to show? Right now, we just recommended Taylor Point, Fort Getty, 2 turbines at 1.65 megawatts. And we want to assume the most beneficial funding, not counting, using just a $3 million CREP, not, fully CREP, because it's just never going to work. But, and then we have, we showed all these other different single options and 2 megawatt and 1.65.
I take the 2 megawatts off.
So just take the 2 off,
Right.
okay?
Do you agree with that?
Does the 2 megawatt at Fort Getty?
I think it's interesting to see just that they're so similar.
Yeah, that's why I was
Yeah.
sort of inclined to leave them.
We're
there.
showing a lot of things.
Right,
No, I
that's the
understand.
trade-off.
Yeah, we want this, the purpose of the council is to make the decision whether it's going to be the 1.65s, which is, what Bob's obviously suggesting is the way to go. And I think that is probably the way to go. But having it there, providing the talking points, to arrive at that.
If the council does decide to only apply for one,
Yeah,
then they may, well, if we're only doing one, let's do 2 megawatt, at least they have the numbers there.
right,
If it's all.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any of the subtleties, I mean, if you want to point out, if they start expressing the wish of the council is to go with one, and what size you use, you can point out, you're right, return of investment is about equal, until you start looking at it, if you're gonna operate it, after 20 years, there's a big gap.
Right.
It starts to, the 2 megawatt produce more power, makes more revenue.
Yeah. Yes, that's going to be part of the discussion.
So,
But,
but, I'm not trying to cloud out our recommendation.
No, it's over $1 million more to begin with.
Yes, it costs more, and you won't get that revenue.
For 20 years.
So maybe it's an obvious one.
And obviously,
It's not worth it.
current capture, has some bearing in the decision versus, the long term.
Right.
What kind of horizon do we want to look at?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're getting old.
It's nice to get the pennies to drop into the thing right away, So,
We're not gonna be around to buy three cars.
Yeah, right.
This next generation can say,
I don't even think it.
Yes, Sal.
Abby can say, I don't know what the hell.
Oh, Sal wanted to make a comment. Go
Well,
ahead.
actually, I have a very
Add those 2 numbers today.
businessman's question.
Shouldn't they
Is
add?
this number that you're giving us in the final column, is it a net profit
Yes,
Yes.
after all expenses, including service contracts?
yes.
Yes.
Second thing I wanted to say is, when I was showing you the windmill and listening to the sound, the thing that I wanted to say was, when it's windy, there's a lot of other sounds that are taking place at the same time.
That was not just, that wasn't the windmill.
That
That was the turbine.
That was the turbine, as well as the
Oh,
wind
the
going
ambient.
through the trees,
Right, yeah.
going through all around us. So the noise factor, when it's a windy day, there's a lot of different noises because of the wind, not just the turbine's noise.
Getty gets a
And
lot
when
of
it's
weight back
quiet,
noise too.
when there's a mild wind, there's a very mild sound of the turbine. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And,
Do you have on Fort Getty, do you have a location for it? I can't remember where we left it.
yeah, Just,
north end?
just, no, just, well, no, just north of the pavilion, really to the south.
I don't think that's what's gonna come up on
Right.
today. I think if we go to Fort Getty with a turbine, at that point in time, once we made that decision, we'll look at the whole package.
You can still look at all, you can still find another, the
Because I would personally like to see it on the north end, but.
Yes.
That's where I kind of like it.
So, I have another question about my.
I don't think, one second, I just want to respond to Lisa's comment. Let's, is this something we should be hearing, guys? Is this something we should be hearing?
Well, yes, I was just looking at this thing, and I'm just simple-minded. You got two, one at each, top line
Is the recommendation.
is the recommendation.
Uh-huh.
Then you go down to the second line, and you got a number, and the fourth line, and you got a number for single, and if you add those two numbers, they don't quite add up to the top number.
Right, no, the,
Different levels of funding
Yeah.
percentage for the
Right.
project.
Yeah.
Right, so the money comes, a different percentage of the money comes from each one of the sources,
Yeah.
depending on the size of the initial cash
I
out.
just hope that doesn't throw another monkey wrench in something.
We have an explanation for it.
Well, Danny, isn't it?
So that first line was split into grants, is that what you're saying?
the first one is.
It's only 1 hour, single,
One
for
hour.
the 2 units.
Right,
That's the big impact, right?
Yeah, so
Exactly.
if you're talking about getting
Two areas,
Two,
then
then
the difference
And
should go.
yeah, I think that reflects the very top.
and that's why there's a differential in the prices backwards from what you might think for the Fort Getty, or for both the Taylor Point and the Fort Getty 2.0 and the 1.65s on the second set, because more of the money needs to be borrowed at a higher rate on the second set of comparisons, where we don't get the whole thing from the prep, and that's probably the more realistic one.
Yeah.
So the 2.0 being that much more expensive means you have to borrow more interest to build money,
That's really
right?
important. This one.
Exactly, exactly. Right.
So we're really recommending the one that's 6.38 mil over 20 years, which is the second sheet.
Probably top line of the second sheet, we probably shouldn't even show the first sheet.
Well, I don't think we should, because it's more info that it doesn't help.
Right.
You know?
So,
Send the
but
same
hold on a
sheet.
second, hold on a second.
I agree with that.
Why do we even show,
For the second sheet?
no,
Okay,
this
yeah,
sheet that we
yeah.
want to show,
Yeah.
right, which is the 5% interest, right?
Yeah.
Why are we even putting this 2 at 1.65 combined Taylor Point and Fort Getty? Because we're actually saying we're going to go for the way the individuals are set up, right?
Right.
If you look at those numbers, it's, if you add up to Joe's point, if you add up the Fort Getty and the Taylor Point 165, that comes up to like that's almost like 9 million combined.
That's because if you do it that way, yeah, it would be the same as assuming you're gonna get, instead of 750,000 from ARA, you'd be getting 1.5 million.
Right.
Well, we can believe that.
Right.
That's another
And
way of modeling
ditto,
that.
instead of 500,000 from EDC, you'd be getting $1 million.
You want to show the conservative.
And instead of 3 million in credit, you can get 6 million, that makes a big difference.
So that's
Really what you're
why,
proposing is 2 and 4, not 1.
right.
Or what you're.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't have the savings involved there.
Right.
Hold on a second.
This is just a more conservative version.
All right.
It could get better than this, if we got two $750,000.
Absolutely, right.
So you want to show the conservative.
So if you want to show the conservative.
Or one
Because
of
I don't think it's going to be, it's already significantly beneficial to us from an economic standpoint, financial standpoint.
And
The most conservative is 2
We don't want to
turbines at
overstate.
once.
And I don't think the decision can be made just on the numbers.
Mhm.
Right.
If you're doing net profit, are you deducting the cost of our electricity on each one? When
That's
you
where we
have
started.
two individual numbers?
No, we're not
That's
deducting
an
the cost of
entirely
electricity
different
from
story.
anyone.
Right.
This is just all incremental revenue.
Right.
So it's not net profit.
Net
It is net
profit.
profit.
Net.
Well,
It
it's
is
net profit without showing the savings, or without showing the cost of our electricity.
Right, because the reason was is because we're not showing the cost of our cell phone bill or our oil bill either. So why you didn't involve the electric bill in it? We're going to
Well,
pay the
because the
electric bill anyway.
presentation you're making is, this is going to pay us back for our electricity.
No.
No, it's just going to generate $6 million in new
It's just
revenue.
another revenue stream.
That's a very clear way of explaining it.
Right, there you go. And, yeah.
It's a new profit center because it got wind.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's another revenue stream of being there, so.
And net profit is a term that I think